may not mean nothing to y'all, but understand nothing was done for me. So I don't plan on stopping at all. I want this forever mine, ever mine, ever mine. I'm shutting down in the mall and telling that girl she the one for me, and I ain't even planning to call. I want this forever mine, ever mine, ever mine.
What's up, guys, and welcome to the King's Court. My name is Kabir and this is my brother Kerman. What's up, guys? So guys, a couple of topics that we will be talking to you today is the NBA recently signed a huge TV deal with TNT and ESPN, and I think ABC also, and that deal was worth $24 billion over 9 years. So we'll talk about that, and we'll give you our opinion on the deal, if it's a positive or a negative impact on the league down the road. And another thing is, for all the people who are extremely addicted to the NBA like we are, you may have seen a series of articles that USA Today released, and they released a series that focused on their rankings for NBA teams' watchability for next year. So that basically means like how exciting they think individual NBA teams will be. So we'll give you our own watchability rankings. We'll give you probably our favorite teams and what teams we think will be the most exciting. So that's all coming up. We have our sneak of the week right here, which is the Nike Hypercross. It's a really cool shoe. The coolest part is the soles, and you'll get to see that when we actually go over the shoe. And we'll, like always, we'll also hit you up with some upcoming sneaker releases and just some news that happened in the sneaker world this past week. So like I said, the NBA just extended its TV agreement with Turner Sports and Disney Sports on a 9-year agreement, 9-year deal. And over those 9 years, the NBA will earn approximately $24 billion just off of TV deals. So Kerman, I'm going to ask you, do you think that's a positive impact for the league down the road or a negative one?
You know, Kabir, I can see why some people think that it's a negative aspect to give the players too much money through this TV deal, because obviously the new deal would increase the NBA salary cap, resulting in higher salaries for the players, and maybe even the possibility of completely diminishing the notion of a max contract. But I can see how owners weren't particularly like this, because if you know, most of the revenue that teams get don't go to the owners. So in past years, owners have actually been complaining that they've lost more money than they put into their teams. But you know, with this new TV deal, I don't see that as happening. I think in the long run, this new TV deal will prove beneficial to the majority of the NBA, and especially to the players individually, because players such as LeBron and many other superstars have come out saying, they deserve more money than they actually get. And there's even a possibility that if everything goes as planned, LeBron could potentially get paid $34 million in 2020. Now that's a ridiculous amount, and obviously you can see why the players would be happy. But one drawback from this would be the potential of another lockout, which, as avid NBA fans, none of us would ever want to witness again. But I think if a lockout did happen, I think the owners and the Players Association now know how the whole process goes, and what to do when it comes to under pressure situations like in the lockout. And I think if another lockout happens, I think it'll end much more quickly, and it'll go much smoother than it did back in 2011. And you won't see the NBA starting on Christmas Day again. It'll probably start like around November. Yeah, so I don't think the lockout is such a big deal, but I think the TV deal, just me personally, it will benefit the NBA, especially the players in the long run.
In my opinion, I look at this as having a negative impact down the road, and I have my reasons why. NBA players already get paid a substantial amount of money, more than they actually need, which kind of makes me wonder how NBA players go bankrupt, like Allen Iverson, Antoine Walker, like after they retire, because they get paid so much money. But I just think that this new TV deal, since it will raise the salary cap to, I think it was about $98 million or something, I think that it will just give too much power to the players. The players already get paid tens of millions of dollars. Kobe gets paid $24 million a year with his new contract. So I just think that the players don't really need more money, and it just gives them more power than they already have. there always has to be, in any league, the NFL, the NBA, MLB, whatever, there always has to be a separation of power between the owners and the players. And if you raise the salary cap like this, it diminishes the power of the owner and the actual team, and increases the power of the players a lot more, because now they're demanding more money in their max contracts. So you'll see that some players have kind of they've foreseen this. They've seen this deal coming. Like LeBron's deal is only worth 2 years with the Cavs. Kobe's deal was worth 2 years with the Lakers, and that's actually primarily because he might retire after those 2 years. And even Joakim Noah signed a 2-year deal. So for all we know, the players in the NBA could have anticipated this new extension, and they just made smart business deals, knowing that if this extension with TV companies came, that they would get paid more, and so in turn they took a shorter deal. So I just think that it gives too much money to the players. The players already get, I mean, like the top-notch players in the NBA will get paid like $25 million, and with the new deal down the road, the top-notch players in the NBA will get paid like what you said, LeBron, $32 million for just one season. That's completely ridiculous. And as much as the NBA, as much as these players put in hard work, I just think that this new TV deal just gives them simply too much power and too much money for their own good. So down the road, I see it as a negative impact. So like I said, for all you basketball heads who simply can't get enough of reading about basketball, you may have noticed that USA Today released a series of articles where they kind of discuss and choose their picks for who they think the most exciting teams will be in next year's NBA season. So Kerman, and they call it something called watchability. So Kerman, I'm just going to ask you, what team do you think is the most watchable, has the highest watchability rating? What team will have the highest watchability rating next year? So which one will be the most exciting?
So Kabir, I'm actually gonna extend the answer to your question. I can't choose, I can't pick my top choice as to who's the most exciting or watchable team to watch in the NBA next season. So I'm just gonna list out my top 3. And those top 3 are the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Minnesota Timberwolves, and the Phoenix Suns. Now, I'm going to start off from the back. For the Phoenix Suns, as we talked about in depth in our last show, they have an excellent backcourt with Eric Bledsoe, Goran Dragic, along with Isaiah Thomas, who was recently signed. And they also picked up Goran Dragic's brother, Zoran Dragic. Now, just those 4 players will prove to be extremely exciting. You know, they love to run up and down the floor, as we saw much of last season. And they also successfully brought back Gerald Green, who was an important part in their fast break and up-tempo offense last season. And they also still have their core of the Morris twins, and along with Miles Plumlee, who are 3 very, very offensively skilled players who have no problem running up and down the court. So just for the Phoenix Suns on that end of the floor, I think offensively they're very exciting to watch. And my second team is the Minnesota Timberwolves, and I think this is true just primarily because of their acquisitions of Andrew Wiggins and their draft night selection of Zach LaVine. Now, these two can be the most athletic duo in the NBA. Many people compare Zach LaVine's athleticism to a Russell Westbrook, and obviously Andrew Wiggins' athleticism is unparalleled by most of the NBA, and he's already drawing comparisons to LeBron James in terms of his athleticism. And along with that, you throw in Thaddeus Young, an up-and-coming Gorgui Dieng, who's actually going to be, I think, a very good player in the NBA. He had a couple 20-rebound games last season, and in the World Cup, he played very well for, I think it's Senegal. And Ricky Rubio is a starting point guard. He's one of the best, most crafty passers, one of the most crafty passers in the NBA, point guards in the NBA, and just him throwing lobs it's second nature to him. So just him being able to find all those people running on the wings, Zach LaVine one side, Andrew Wiggins one side, you know, just that trio along with their big men, and along with Kevin Martin also, you know, that team is just very exciting to watch. And last but not least, you know, the Cleveland Cavaliers. Obviously, everyone wants to see how well Kyrie Irving, Kevin Love, and LeBron James play together. And I think they'll mesh pretty well. And not only that, you add in Dion Waiters, Sean Marion, Mike Miller, all these role players that just come together to form a very exciting team who I think has the potential to win the championship this season. So those 3 teams are just teams to look out for, and I think this NBA season will be one of the best.
So Kerman, I've decided to pick 2 teams who I think will be exciting, and I'm going to combine them with your 3, and we'll form an awesome top 5 of teams who we think will be the most exciting next year. My first team that I'd pick to be extremely exciting next year would be the Chicago Bulls. Chicago Bulls, obviously, one of the biggest storylines is that they got Derrick Rose back. So just seeing how Derrick Rose comes back, how he fits into the system, into the life of a NBA superstar will be extremely exciting to watch. And then once he gets into mid-season form where he's dunking all over the place and dunking on people and just being Derrick Rose, then we'll all see it'll be the pinnacle of the excitement that the Chicago Bulls bring every night, and we'll all get to witness that. So not only is it just Derrick Rose, but it's also Pau Gasol who's coming to Chicago. Pau Gasol, we all know he's an extremely he's an interesting player to watch because he makes nice passes. He's a smart NBA player. He makes nice passes. He's crafty. He can shoot, and he's just a good player overall. And you like watching Pau Gasol play. I know I do. So I think that will also add to the excitement factor. And then you have guys like Joakim Noah and Jimmy Butler and Taj Gibson, who's extremely athletic. All 3 of them are actually athletic. So you just have them coming back. They're exciting. You have Doug McDermott, who's a really solid rookie who they drafted. Actually, not even solid. He's a really good rookie that they drafted. And then they have Mike Dunleavy coming back, who's a knockdown shooter. And they also have Nikola Mirotic, who I think will be a pretty good player in the NBA. Many people are uncertain about how good foreign players can be when they come to the NBA, and a lot of foreign players have failed when they come to the NBA. But I think Nikola Mirotic will fit extremely well to the NBA. He just has a good set of skills for an NBA player. He's big and he can shoot. So I think the Chicago Bulls will be extremely exciting. Now the other team I'm gonna add to our huge top 5 or whatever is gonna be the Los Angeles Clippers. You can't leave out Lob City. I mean, they have Lob City as the nickname for a reason because they throw lobs all the time. Any team with a mixture of Blake Griffin and DeAndre Jordan will be extremely exciting to watch. DeAndre Jordan throws down powerful dunks like seemingly every game. See Brandon Knight or Blake Griffin throws down, his Superman dunk or whatever at least once a year. Last year the victim was Chris Humphries. So they're just extremely exciting to watch. And then you got Chris Paul, who's the orchestrator of Lob City. He throws all the lobs at impeccable times. So it's just fun. And Chris Paul's a great player individually as well. You can also see he's a good player. He can shoot. He can carry his team. He's a good clutch player. And then another thing is it'd be fun to see their new players come in. They got Jordan Farmar and Spencer Hawes and a cool little personality in Chris Douglas Roberts to follow. We all know he chose to wear short shorts this year. That's kind of cool, I guess. But so just seeing how all of them fit into the Clippers will be pretty exciting as well. Spencer Hawes will be good because he's a much needed player, much needed big on that team. And then lastly, they have Jamal Crawford. Jamal Crawford is Jay crossover. He will make 10 people fall every season. So just a team with Jamal Crawford will be extremely exciting. We all know that. He won 6th Man of the Year last year. And he doesn't only bring crossovers. He was 6th Man of the Year because he averaged 18 points a year last year as well. So Jamal Crawford, along with other guys, JJ Redick, and just other players, will make the Clippers an exciting team like they've always been for the past couple of years. So now let's kind of shift over to our sneaker portion of our video. So probably the biggest news in the past week in the sneaker world has been the delay of the LeBron 12s. So Kerman, can you tell us a little bit about more information about this delay?
So apparently Nike made some type of mistake when they were manufacturing the LeBron 12s. Somewhere on the shoe they had the number 6, LeBron's old number, on the shoe instead of number 23, which is kind of funny to think about. So anyways, those got delayed for a couple. No one really knows actually when they're gonna come out, but yeah, those got delayed for some time, and Nike's just trying to remake those and just trying to remanufacture those and get all of that over with. So hopefully we get to see them come out as fast as possible. But
yeah, just to kind of add on to that, the first colorway, the first rendition of the LeBron 12s were supposed to release on the 11th, and those were in the NSRL colorway, but like you said, they've been delayed, so now no one really knows how long it's going to take Nike to kind of fix this defect. So you guys should stay tuned for more information about the just the upcoming releases of the shoe. So now we can talk about the upcoming releases, and I'll tell you guys what's coming out in the next couple of weeks. On October 18th, you have the Wheat Foamposites releasing. They're going to be releasing for a price of $250. Now, if you look at them, they're kind of Nike's kind of essentially taking the boots from Timberland, like that same beige colorway, that tan colorway, and they're basically putting it on Foamposites. So those are what those look like. Those are coming out on the 18th, like I said. And a little bit down the road, the Baron 13s, or hologram 13s, as some people call them, because they have hologram on the midsole. They come out on the 25th of October for a price of $185. So those are pretty cool shoes to look forward to. A little bit later, you have the collaboration with Acapulco Gold and Nike SB. You have they're called the Moab Dunk Highs. And Nike's released other shoes in this colorway, such as Air Max 90s and Huaraches. Those have been in the past. They're a pretty cool shoe. They have hints of blue, beige, and I think an orange on there. I think they're pretty cool. For those of you who don't know, Acapulco Gold is a clothing company, so they're just collaborating with Nike on this shoe. So they will release on the 25th as well for a price of $108, which is standard with Dunk Highs. And then lastly, Jordan recently announced the release date for the Slam Dunk 6s. And if you don't know, these are the shoes that are all red, and they're kind of laser printed with a series of comics that was written by, I don't exactly know who it was written by, but I think they have 3M, so if you flash the shoe, it's easier to see all the comics. So those are releasing on November the 1st for a price of $200. And I think part of the reason why they're $200 is because of the 3M and because of like the amazing detail, and another reason is because of the box. For those of you who didn't see the box is not at all a standard Jordan box. It's all white, and it's basically like a comic strip is the box. It just has the comics going all around the box. It's a really cool special edition kind of shoe. So those are some of the upcoming releases, and hopefully you guys like them and could get your hands on them. So this week's sneak of the week right here is a Nike Zoom Hypercross trainer, and these are actually released. They released on the 11th of October, and not in this colorway. They released in a all Volt colorway, and I'm not sure when these ones are releasing, but I found these a little bit early on this site called Shoe Palace. If you guys don't know what that is, and I just got them for retail, and I like this. Is probably my favorite color out of all the rumored Hypercrosses that are releasing. If you kind of follow Nike extremely closely, you'll see all the rumored colorways that are releasing. So I'll just go over the shoe for you guys. It's an all black, triple black upper, anthracite, whatever you want to call it. For me, I just call it black. It's premium. It's premium. It feels like a high quality, just rubber going around the whole shoe. And it's also added with spots of mesh for breathability on the shoe. There's mesh on the side, there's mesh on the toe box. The tongue is meshed like down here, and it's meshed on this side as well. So just like if you're using it to be like in the weight room or something, it's a really good shoe because the rubber adds flexibility and the mesh adds breathability. So it's a good shoe in that aspect. And the Nike sign right here is also black, but it has 3M on it, so if you flash it, then it'll light up, just like everything with 3M. Let me see. The laces right here are just, standard black laces. And as many people, might think that black is just, boring or something, I think that black adds to the sharpness of the shoe because it makes the shoe more interesting. You can wear it with anything, and I don't know, I just think black looks extremely cool. So that's part of the reason why I chose this colorway, because I like the color black myself. The tongue right here, it says Nike Zoom Hypercross, the name of the shoe, and then kind of right here in the insole, it had the lining. It's just it's just normal black, and then the insole says "Just Do It," obviously Nike's slogan. So I've shown you guys kind of the standard part of the shoe. Now we can get to like the unique part of the shoe, which is the soles. The soles are mimicking what was introduced by the LeBron 12s, which is the hexagonal zoom pods on the soles. You can see these bold orange, dark orange, pink pods, and I tried these on and they feel extremely comfortable. When you're wearing them, you're feeling a little bit of bounce on your feet, and you know, I kind of liked it. I thought the shoe was really comfortable, and not only does it have these multicolored pods, but it also has a translucent sole. It's not a blue sole, but it's more of like a translucent black tinted sole or something. So you can see that right here, and the sole just like took me away. I thought that the color contrast with the black and the multicolored sole just looked extremely awesome. So that's another reason why I like this colorway a little bit more. So it's just a cool shoe overall. In my opinion, I think the shoe, just because of the comfortness that it brings, the simplicity, yet like the dopeness that it brings, I think that it can be as popular, as mainstream as Roche runs, or as Flyknit shoes that use Flyknit, like the trainers or the racers, or even like Roche runs. I just think that they're that comfortable and they just look that cool. So that's the shoe. I hope you guys like them as much as I do, and I hope you guys can get as many pairs as you wish.
So that's it for today's show, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to follow us on Twitter and subscribe to our videos on YouTube.
So guys, like always, thank you so much for joining us on this week's show, and please be sure to join us next time. Thank you so much, and we'll see you later.
Okay, hello, it's the Martian. Space Jam Jordans. I want this forever. Wake up and smell the garden.